Lost World Minute podcast, reviewing the 1997 sequel Jurassic Park in 1 minute time. I'm Brad.
I'm Dave.
And today here we've discussed minute 50 of The Lost World. 50 episodes. 50 minutes.
Wow.
Milestone.
That's a lot. What is it, 129 minute movie?
204.
204.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I always can't remember if it's 209 or 204.
Yeah, somewhere around there. As I've said in the introduction, which I hope no one's gone back and listened to because the audio wasn't the best. Watching the Region 4 video or version of the DVD, so times will change, run with all that sort of stuff that happens there. But we give the recap of what happens in the minute we're talking about at the in the podcast, so you know where we are if you do want to watch along at home. And to help celebrate 50, we're having Listener Week next week, where we're going to dedicate an episode to listener questions, listener feedback, and all the good things from you listeners.
No answer. What a surprise. How do I get down?
Tie this belt around you.
Where are you going, Dad? Why are you staying here? Come on, stay here, Dad, please. Dad,
Squeeze
where are you
this
going?
rope hard. The harder you squeeze, the slower you go. You
Where are
don't
you
squeeze
going?
at all.
I get the idea.
Personally, I would have squeezed just a little bit harder.
We got another question from a listener over on Instagram.
Yep. The question is if we'll ever see the Rex family again all together in future films.
Yeah, there was a question sort of similar to it on social media recently I've seen too about the legacy of the T-Rex, and even if the Nublar Rex doesn't survive or doesn't come back for a third film, whether her legacy will live on, because we've got, at this stage it wouldn't be an infant, would have adult Rexes. It's possibly the male and the female T-Rex on Sauna are, I'd assume, probably dead, just because there's more predators on Sauna, and more of that natural progression.
I've always been kind of curious to see, and I mentioned this before, like a really old male, and I think if they used the baby T-Rex from the second movie, it would be a great chance because it'd be older now.
Yep.
He had lost a lot of his color. He'd kind of be just a molted brown or a molted blackish and green coloration, and just be gnarly scars all over his face. One leg thicker than the other, so you can tell that its leg was busted at one point in his life.
Yeah.
You know? I think Sue had that. The T-Rex Sue has one leg that's thicker than the other because she broke her leg early in her life.
Oh, interesting.
And it healed over.
Yep.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah, you can see that there's kind of this jagged bit of bone that fused over into the other bone, and so the one leg would have been a bit thicker than the other leg, and I think that'd be cool to see in a male T-Rex in one of the next Jurassic World movies. Just this really old, gnarly, ugly male. We can tell that just little hints of that this was the baby from the Lost World, you know?
Yep.
Something in its eyes, you know, something about the color of its eyes or something like that.
Yeah, no, that would be good. They've said, Colin and have said they want to get away from the ions, and we're going back to Nublar in Fallen Kingdom. Whether Sauna's got anything to do with that, whether Sauna's going to have anything else to do with the story going ahead into the franchise, it's up in the air. We don't know. We're not the ones making the decisions, but I'd certainly love to return to Sauna, even if it's just a final send-off there, just to see what's happening.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend, and it was kind of one of those friend of a friend kind of deals, who had seen one of the earlier scripts for Fallen Kingdom.
Yep.
And I tried to ask him if he knew Sorna was mentioned at all, or if it played a part in the movie at all, and he just didn't know. He finished getting all the details from his friend, so because he didn't want to be spoiled.
Yeah, and it's sort of, the franchise has been built on the T-Rex. It was the big girl from the first one. The logo, apart from Jurassic Park 3, the T-Rex is in the logo for the films. Even now, sort of, so many years removed, there are DVD and Blu-ray releases coming out now where the Spinosaur logo is being replaced with the original T-Rex logo.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I mean, I know Spinosaurus, a lot of the fandom are kind of pissed off at it still, but I mean, that was 15 years ago. Time to let it go, you know?
Yeah, and it's a different artistic choice.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, it was bold at the time, you know?
Yeah.
It was a bold move.
Yeah, it reflects on the film, how it's sort of a little bit disjointed, doesn't really know what it wants to do, because it's that brushed aluminium look, with the silver on it and that, and even the sort of the teaser poster and that with the or the background with the pterosaur or pterodon shadow and
and the pteranodons are over the little jungle in the bottom of it.
Yeah. So it's just it's more so why is it called Jurassic Park 3 when it should have been called something else, because again we're not back on Nublar, but no, I'd definitely love to see the Rex family again. They wouldn't look like we know them through age, but there's no reason why. Maybe even a story it probably wouldn't make for a good movie, but just the population control's getting out of hand. Like it'd be good to see a nest with 5 or 6 babies in it. And
well, a friend of mine, and he does the Coprolites podcast. A friend of mine by the name of Marty Kevel, he does the Coprolites podcast, and with David Perdue and all them. He and I were thinking of ways when we were doing the Jurassic Park Legacy Comic-Con booth. We were always brainstorming ideas on how they could possibly make Jurassic World before we really had plot ideas. And a lot of our plot ideas involved stuff like poaching around the islands and stuff like that.
Yep.
You know? Stuff like, because it was, or even a blackfish kind of thing. Stuff that would really kind of invigorate the idea of debate, as Jurassic Park has always been founded on. And these kind of scientifically well thought out, smart ideas. You know? Yeah,
and I'm sure there's if they're going to return to the Isles, I'm sure we're going to see the T-Rex again. Because it also leads to the thing too. There's some people that don't even realise that the T-Rex we see here in the Lost World isn't the same one as Jurassic Park.
I have encountered that actually.
Yeah,
I've even encountered people who didn't even realize that they were on a different island.
Yep. So, no, I'm sure we're going to see a lot more T-Rex going into the future.
Well, I definitely hope we do, because, I mean, like you said, T-Rex has really been the star of this franchise. And especially in The Lost World was where I kind of, as a child, fell in love with T-Rex. Just because it's been featured so predominantly in this movie. A lot of people are like, oh, it's T-Rex overload, too much T-Rex. I'm like, wait, that's heresy, man. You can't ever have too much T-Rex.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it. Go back to those couple episodes we had Jay Jurassic on as well. His love of the T-Rex as well.
Yeah.
And just brought to life so well in these films by the animatronics they do.
Yeah. In fact, I mean, even Spielberg knew that T-Rex was the star of these movies. And that's why he made an effort to change the ending of Jurassic Park to include the T-Rex. You know?
Well, yeah, the whispers early on the T-Rex was actually going to die in the end of it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy was talking in one of those behind the scenes. I can't remember where she was talking about now. It might be that one that I can't find where she says that, or where it's confirmed that George Lucas actually directed that end scene while Spielberg was away doing Schindler's List. But I've never been able to find it again to prove it. But yeah, we'll just leave that in the little secret locked up box. We won't touch it again until I can find the feature. And if anyone knows the feature I'm talking about, please let me know, so I don't sound like a complete madman.
Oh, no, this is nothing like that. We're in a completely different situation right now.
Speaking of madman, you're ready to get into minute 50.
Sure.
Rightio. In the previous minute, with the cries of the baby filling the trailer, Kelly wanted to get out somewhere safe and somewhere high. Ian took her to the hide, and they went up to the top of the trees. As we open minute 50, Ian's reassuring her that we're up high. This is the safest place we can be. At 49 minutes and 20 seconds, after trying to reassure Kelly, the deafening roar of the T-Rex can be heard. At 49 minutes and 29 seconds, Ian kills the lights and asks Eddie if there's any way they can communicate with the trailers. At 49 minutes and 35 seconds, Eddie hands Ian the phone and we cut back to the trailers. Nick wants to give the baby boy morphine, but Sarah doesn't want to because she doesn't know the animal's metabolism. At 49 minutes and 45 seconds, we cut back to the hide, and there's no answer on the phone. What a surprise. Ian then asks Eddie how does he get down, and they begin putting on a rappelling harness. As we end the minute, Eddie's telling Ian, the harder you squeeze, the slower you go. You don't squeeze at all. And this ends the 50th minute of The Lost World. We ended here where we ended with minute 49 with Eddie telling Malcolm the frequency of the boat. And we get Ian telling Kelly we're high, we're safe. As Sarah said, these plants will make it as if the animals don't even know we're here, which is a nice little callback to the novel.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not sure if I can even see any plants on the high. It looks like they just have a couple ghillie nets.
Well, and that's, yeah, in the novel, because it was sort of aluminium struts, it sort of shone brightly in the sun and didn't really blend in where they got and chopped a lot of foliage down and actually put on the hide itself to mask it and blend it a little bit.
Yeah.
Whereas here, yes, the steel's sort of painted, or the metal's painted a darker colour and they got the netting all over it.
It was painted with, I mean, the high in the novel was painted with like a shiny metallic black, and you could smell. And Levine actually said you could smell the paint. That's why he got the ferns to cover up the smell in the site.
Oh yeah, yep. It'll also explain why the raptor sort of sniffs up when they attack the hide as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you said, it's sort of like they've just got the netting over it. It's not really close to anything.
No.
I'm guessing just the surrounding foliage. Maybe poisonous.
Yeah, I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, but Kelly's not buying it, and I remember the stories you told. And Ian's like, oh, no, this is a completely different situation. And cut off by the roar.
And I love that first roar that we gave. It's just so atmospheric.
Yeah.
It's just this roar rolling across the island and across the trees, and everybody knows what it means.
Yeah.
Audience, the characters, everybody.
Yep, and that might add to the confusion a little bit too, because it's pretty much the exact same roar from the breakout scene. Yeah. But it's just great hearing that. We haven't seen the T-Rex yet. We've heard a lot about them. We've heard them mentioned, but here they come.
Yeah, it's a great return.
Yeah, yep, certainly is. But Malcolm sort of stands up straight and Eddie turns the lights off. And is there any way we can communicate with the trailers?
And he's staring, eyes as large as saucers all around, waiting to see like a T-Rex coming out and attacking the hide, because that does actually happen. There was does actually happen. That in the early script when they had the Dr. Judson character, I think that's may have been how they got rid of him or were planning on getting rid of him, because there's a storyboard art in the making of that shows Dr. Judson falling out of the hide.
Okay.
And
yeah, I need
T-Rex
to
attack it.
Yeah, I need to get caught up on that. I stopped reading where we got to the hunter's camp being sabotaged, and that's where I stopped. I've got to get back onto that script and finish reading it. But yeah, we get a nice close up here too of the cameras on the hide while the two are talking. Eddie hands Ian a phone, which is just attached to the side of the hide. Again, radio phone maybe. We're not. We didn't see him run a cable out.
No, it's not like they had Wi-Fi back then.
Yeah. But it's just sort of interesting now out of all of it, the danger of the situation sort of hits them. Where they've been running backwards and forwards in the jungle, driving around the jungle at night time. I'm sure Sarah could have easily said that a lot of these predators are nocturnal.
Yeah.
There's a reason. There's a reason why we haven't seen many animals during the day. It's because they're nocturnal, and we do not want to be outside at all at night time. But
Mm-hmm. Well, that was actually something that we saw early in the previous script. The old script was a scene right out from the novel where Sarah is viewing these lions and then these hyenas.
yeah,
The lion take the kill, and then the phone rings, and it's Ian, and the phone rings, and you can see every single eyeball in the entire savannah staring straight at them.
yeah,
They're watching it through these night vision goggles, just like in the novel, and it's kind of an eerie scene.
yeah, yep. And yeah, the assistant didn't turn the phone off.
Yeah, it reminded me of one time when I was camping. Me and my dad and the rest of the group, we were all out walking in this cornfield. We used to camp on this guy's property next to a cornfield.
Mm-hmm.
And so we ran into this pack of coyotes, and so all that we saw on our flashlight, 8 feet from us, 9 feet from us, was just like 4 pairs of eyeballs staring straight back at us.
Yeah.
And we backed up and like, we're out.
Yeah.
Back to camp. Because we used to do these things called the midnight walk, and we go out and kind of steal squash from the guy's personal garden. Squash and a couple tomatoes, and we'd pillage the guy's garden and use the ingredients to make breakfast the next morning.
No, you get this similar thing over here too on the water. If you shine a good light up along it, and you get like crocodile eyes.
Mm-hmm. That terrified me.
Yeah, like a piece of water. You'd sort of, you wouldn't see anything all day, and sort of think, oh, this is good. Probably even swimming in it during the day, and then at night time you go and shine a torch up, and there's just 10 sets of eyes littering up the banks, and you're like, oh crap. Sleeping in the car tonight.
Yeah. The worst thing, they'd probably terrify me because we don't have crocodiles around here.
Yeah.
At least not on this side of the country. The worst we get is the occasional cougar or mountain lion, or that is. And even the occasional wolf, on very rare occasions, will wander its way into the Chicago area.
Well, even a wolf pack or something like that would be just as scary too.
Yeah, but I mean, they're very rare. They rarely happen.
Yeah. Yeah, but we cut back to the trailers and the phone ringing, a little red light flashing on it. Nick wants to give the baby more morphine. Sarah doesn't know what the metabolism is.
Yeah, which is a very good point, and that kind of comes up later in the movie when Roland tries to drink the T-Rex.
Yeah, yep. And it's one thing too that this whole time the baby's moving, so it's never actually knocked out completely.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think he starts fighting more, which is the reason why Nick wants to give it more morphine, because it's starting to wake up from the last dosage they gave it.
Yeah, yep. Because I'm pretty sure in the novel that's one thing where they try and give the baby back. It's actually not sort of fully.
Conscious. No, I think the parents smash their faces through the windows. I don't think the windows are barred. Or I can't remember if the windows are barred in the novel. And so the mother or the father, one of the two, smashed their face through the window, and that's pretty much how they get the baby back.
Yeah.
They just pick the baby up from their mouth from the table, and then they have to lick the baby awake until it makes a noise.
Yeah, because they carry it back and put it up in a fork of a tree.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I always thought it was kind of weird because, I mean, that baby could very easily fall. It just did not seem like a very parental thing to do to put your baby up in a tree like that, you know?
Yeah, especially how much it's squirming around here. But then it makes sense later on where we get the raptors on the scene, and that's what actually draws the T-Rex away from the trailers, and not like we're going to see here in a couple of minutes where they just disappear and come and go as they please.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't know what the metabolism is. The monitors are back on the bench showing the dino data again.
Nick goes to answer the phone and nobody picks up. Ian's like, no answer, what a surprise. And I know exactly how that feels because my mom never, ever, ever picks up her cell phone. Like if I was strapped to a chair and somebody told me the next person you call, you die if they pick up the phone, I would call my mother because I know for a fact she would never pick up her phone. So I always say, whenever I call her and I don't get an answer, I'm like, no answer, what a surprise.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, because we got Sarah saying, Nick, I need your hand here, and pulls him away from the phone so he can't answer it anyway. But cut back to the high height as he said. No answer, what a surprise. And how do I get down? Now I'd understand. He's got the climbing line and the harnesses there. Eddie starts putting the harness on him to rappel down from the high height. The harder to squeeze, the slower you go. Don't squeeze at all. And Malcolm gets the idea. But we're going to find out the next minute.
I'm not even sure he squeezes it at all.
Yeah, we're going to find out the next minute that he doesn't squeeze it at all. And it's a great sound effect too when he hits the ground for FUD.
Yeah, you can kind of hear a snapping sound.
Yeah, yep. But
I'm not exactly sure if that's like his leg or a tree or what.
Yeah,
if he hit the tree on the way down.
And he is limping too when he sort of runs through. We see him running through the jungle here in the next minute as well.
Exactly.
So, no, he doesn't have the cane or the limp. The injury isn't as flushed out here as what it is in the novel either. So.
No, or in the early script. In the early script, he did have the cane, and he was even doing leg exercises in the mobile field system's garage with his leg to strengthen it.
Yeah. All right, Dave. Anything else on 50 you want to discuss before we get out of here for the week?
No, I think we're good.
All right. As we said, just stay tuned to the social media next week, and we'll start posting up some questions and look forward to your feedback.
All right, guys. Let's get the hell out of here.
Contact details are on the website, thelostworldminute.com. You can email feedback to thelostworldminute@gmail.com, Facebook, The Lost World Minute, Twitter @thelostworldminute, and Instagram, The Lost World Minute.
Easy to remember.
Yeah, very easy to remember. Right. David, thank you for joining me for this record.
You're welcome.
And we'll be back. I've been Brad.
I'm Dave.
And we'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
It is absolutely imperative that we work with the Costa Rican Department of Biological Preserves to establish a set of rules for the preservation and isolation of that island. These creatures require our absence to survive, not our help. And if we could only step aside and trust in nature, life will find a way.